Gamers, I'm alive. Anyways, you don't care about that. We're gonna talk about Honkai Star Rail's new in-game mode. That's right, there is a fourth in-game that has hit the towers. Developer Radio 3.5, System Optimization and Challenging Game Modes Preview. Hooray! Are you guys excited for a new in-game? Chat, who's excited for a new in-game? Raise your hands. Oh, I wasn't joking, bro. This is officially announced. Y'all ready for a whale time? This is elitism 100%. I love this shit, bro. Hell yeah, more elitism content. I want to make fun of all these plebs who cannot beat the content. Y'all suck. I stay here winning. Y'all are trash. Does the in-game mode melt steel beams as well? Anyways, H started becoming the new America. Blah blah blah. In version 3.6, the Express crew plans to introduce Journey Highlights tab to help Trailblazers quickly access event-related information. Nobody cares. Under this tab, Trailblazers can view both ongoing and upcoming featured events for the current version. So Zinless has this, by the way. For whatever reason in Zinless, they put it in like some fucking corner menu. It's really dumb. But this is a quality of life feature in Zinless where there's a tab that you can preview the timeline of all the events going on. It's really, really nice and helpful. It's just, again, with Zinless UI issues, it's in a weird fucking corner, right? Hopefully that is what is going to come in 3.6. So I do actually like this feature. Just make sure the UI still functions mostly the same, right? Wants to see 2 events in one update. Listen. We already know the number of events Star Rail gets per update. But hey, at least though there should be a timeline, okay? At least. Gold is mad he's cooked. He's gonna have to whip out the M7th break team again. Shut up. Trailblazers can also check which major rewards are still available in each event, such as Stellar Jades or Star Rail passes. Is there an event that has ever given out like passes straight up? I don't think so. Maybe they're referring to like the login bonus. Oh no. This will help Trailblazers track their progress and avoid missing anything. Cool. We're not getting another one until phase 2. True. Lineup strategy guide now available. Not sure how to build your own team? The recommended lineup guides has you covered. Here's the thing. I've talked about this before. The recommended team lineup thing is like, it's misleading for optimization because it's going to be based on data from like recently played players. And so people most of the time won't know what they're doing. So they have goofy ass setups. And so when people follow that, they're also going to perform bad and then, you know, not understand why. I would always refer to online groups and do research on like what works, how the game works, and then figure out what is going to be the best team for you, and then move on from there. Their in-game systems are like okay as a starting point, but they're never really enough to fully understand like what's going on, right? But it is nice to see that they are trying to at least add more features to help, you know, those lower skilled players get started in the game, right? So yeah, I mean that's something at least, right? Ting Yun is probably mad hyped. Yeah, Ting Yun's one of those great areas where it's like, oh, she actually has like a few teams in the current meta that like actually get use out of her. But comparatively to like any 5-star support, like any limited 5-star support, right? Like Sunday Trivia or something, like it's like just not even the same. It's a matter of perspective in certain points you are in the game and those few odd teams, right? I mean, Bronya, Tingu, and Pella still get some use, but like, I don't know. It's these systems are never going to be perfect with in-game data. With the way they do it, it's very skewed. But it just is what it is. I mean, I do think they should be built for everybody's account because they are going to be used in some way. For sure, but like, I don't know. Moving on. New challenging game mode preview. This is what we're here for. This is like real content, okay? For Trailblazers looking to test their limits, a new trial stage is on the way. Anomaly Attribution. Is Attribution? Is it? Am I saying that right? Attribution? No, that's not right. I think I said it right the first time and fucked it up every other time. Anyways, this permanent high difficulty mode is expected to go live in version 3.6 and will receive regular content updates over time. Miyabi reference? Yo, Chaz, is this a Zenless reference? The first thing I thought of whenever I heard Anomaly was Zenless. But yeah, new in-game mode. Very pog. Once Trailblazers have achieved full star records in Stage 12, Memory Chaos, Pure Fiction, and Pure Fiction, and Apocalyptic Shadow, at difficulty 4, these will be completed in different versions. Okay. So you just have to do it once, right? The new challenge mode will be unlocked. Prepare for a showdown against formidable foes. Aziz collab and add a new path to Star Rail. Please no. Anomaly Attribution. I'm saying this wrong. Arbitration. Oh, wait, I can't fucking read. It's arbitration. Anomaly Arbitration, right? Yeah, Anomaly Arbitration. Why the fuck did... I'm dyslexic, by the way, for any new viewers. Anomaly Arbitration. Okay, Anomaly Arbitration. Consists of 3 trial stages and 1 final stage. Trailblazers must form 3 separate teams to take on trial stages. After completing them, Trailblazers will be able to assemble any characters into a team and challenge even more challenging final stage. In this gameplay, Trailblazers will have a chance to obtain special leveling items, limited time avatar frames, redeemable outfits. This is the interesting one, all right? I want to do that, funny YouTuber thing where you take a screenshot, draw a big red circle right here, right? No idea what redeemable outfits are. They better not be for pom-pom, okay? They better be actual outfits. But yeah, and then more rewards, which this sounds insane, by the way. So first off, leveling items, very interesting. Not sure what that refers to. As a free-to-play, I myself do not need any like actual XP or like crowns and stuff. I think those are way too plentiful, right? I have a shit ton of XP. I've got a ton of, mats. Like, I would take relic XP. Relic XP I'd be fine with. Personally, though, I would prefer resin and relic stuff. This is what I want in terms of like leveling materials personally, right? I don't know if anybody else is going to agree with me on that, but personally, I find relic related items way more valuable than character XP stuff, right? Just saying. And so I much prefer getting like relic XP and like relic mats before any other like quote unquote upgrade material, right? I definitely do not need these crowns because they give out plenty of those. You just have to play long enough, right? Everything else is like fine. I guess an acceptable reward is like the universal mats. I think I used all my... Oh, here's some right here. So like Tears of Dreams, like I guess this would be an okay reward to have. But personally, in terms of like leveling rewards, I'd much prefer relic materials because that I think is much more beneficial than everything else, right? How do you justify holding on so many relics? What? Oh, there's a bunch of fodder ones I have down here. That's why. I've been farming that one domain, so I have a bunch of fodder ones. If that's what you're wondering. But I have a bunch of relics equipped on the characters. I've got like multiple pages. It's only until like down here, but that's beside the point. As for the other contents here, limited time avatar frames is cool. I would love for this game to have titles and badges, just like how Zenless does, but I'll take avatar frames. They say limited time, so I'm expecting it to be a temporary frame and you have to like refresh it. I don't know. I kind of hope it's not that. maybe it's like it's a limited time, like you beat the content within this time frame and you get to keep this avatar frame, and then here's the new season's avatar frame. That I think would be cool. It's a little bit of FOMO, sure, but it gives you, it gives you motivation to push to actually beat the mode. So like that personally would be what I would want. So yeah, I will say like this mode is definitely exciting with this rewards. They say stay tuned for future announcements for full details on gameplay and rewards, and then that's all. So yeah, I think this is really cool, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm glad that there is a fourth endgame mode because it's more content to talk about, to grind, and to judge units' performance on. So I can shit on characters like Fushuan even more, right? And so yeah, anomaly arbitration. I think it's pretty cool. I think the idea of it's cool. Again, I'm very skeptical on what they mean by redeemable outfits because, listen, we've been playing Hoyoverse games for a bit now. We know how they do things. All right. They're pretty. Nah, not generous isn't the word, but they give out like interesting rewards in Honkai Impact 3rd, right? Where it's like recolors in a couple outfits that they give out for free. And so we'll see if it's any like major outfits or if it's just like recolors or something like Honkai Impact 3 does it. To be fair, Honkai Impact 3 hasn't done many recolors like in recent years or since the last time I played, which is probably like 2 years ago to be fair. But we'll just see. I'm very curious to know what the rewards will actually be. Hopefully they're good. Hopefully it's often, because if it's like, I would accept once per update for this brand new in-game mode. I would accept like updated like items like once per update. I hope it's not longer than that, because then that would be really, really annoying to where it's like super high tier in-game players that are doing zero cycles and stuff. Like, I would say people that are a bit more advanced than me per se. Somebody who already like full clears most everything, right? If those players not getting new content are, the whales, which seems to be kind of like the ideal target for this. It'd be really unfortunate for them to not get content like every update, Like if it took longer to update this more than once an update, that's gonna be really unfortunate for those players, right? That they're just gonna have to sit there and wait for interesting content like going forward. Oh, I had more relic materials. I spent them all though. If that's what you're wondering, I had way more. Fine on beach skin win. I don't want beach skins. They're just lazy content. I want like actually cool skins. And hell, if they don't want to put cool skins behind this really difficult mode, then I guess beach skins are acceptable. I wouldn't mind putting, Cypher in a bikini or something like that. That would be fine, but I would prefer like, cool skins first, honestly. They should take to the next level and make a new mode extension of MOC. Well, they require you to full clear all the other modes before unlocking this one. So, we'll see what happens. But I do think it's interesting because, like, here's the thing. We do need to point out this line right here, right? This line right here. So it consists of 3 trial stages and 1 final stage. Trailblazers must form 3 separate teams, right? 3 separate teams. This is the interesting thing. I know there's a lot of players that don't have their teams well built or structured, and on my stream, right, I always try to encourage people to have like fully built teams and actually build their supports properly and everything like this. And you're gonna have to do that if you want to clear this mode. You're gonna have to have your characters built properly, because they say it right here, it requires 3 teams. Now, in Zenless, it's the same way, right? Zenless has Deadly Assault, which requires you to have, or at least have 3 usable teams, right? To get enough points to do it. You can get away with 2 really well-built teams, or like 1 really well-built team and 2 like slightly weaker teams in Zenless, because you only need like 6 out of 9 stars. But like with the way Star Rail power creep has gone and other factors, right? Yes, Zenless is also one less unit a team. Yes, with other factors in Star Rail, like how the game is structured, you're probably going to need, more investment on your setup to actually get this done, right? And so I would definitely make sure you want to have at least 3 like usable teams with distinct characters, right? Which up until recently wasn't the most possible for accounts because a lot of teams had overlap. But in the current meta, there's now enough characters to where if you've got enough resources put onto your account, you should be totally fine, right? But I can definitely tell you right now that not everybody's going to be able to clear a mode like this, especially with the fact that it requires you to full clear everything else, and additionally requires 3 teams to do it, as they state here. So yeah, we'll see what it's like, but I should be fine myself. I say should be. I don't really know because really 2 of my teams are the same archetype. So we'll see what happens there. But this does promote a little bit having I don't know if I want to say more efficient characters, but having it's not so much horizontal investment, but it's more so having not wasted as many pools. So it's like people that have vertical investment into particular setups that allow them to run multiple setups, you will have a, probably better time clearing because you've got more stuff. Simple as that, right? Obviously, this mode is not intended for lower tier players, as it does want you to full clear the other stuff, right? But it's just, there's stuff to keep in mind if you do plan on challenging something like this, right? Firefly Stonks just shoot through the moon because you can make a copy and break team easy. Yes, there will be some teams that have viable options, but you got to keep in mind that RMC is really good and accessible to everybody, but you cannot use RMC and Harmony MC at the same time. So you want to keep that in mind, right? You're going to have to make a choice for any lower tier players that you have to drop your RMC maybe for a Harmony MC so you can run a break team as your third option, right? Something like that, So you want to keep that in mind. It says Trailblazers can assemble any characters into a team to challenge even more challenging final stage. And yeah, there's, one final stage. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm curious what other people's thoughts are on this, the fact that we're getting a 4th in-game mode. I think it's very cool. I think there's a lot of potential in the fact that we're potentially getting outfits, right? Who knows? Maybe that rumored Kafka outfit will finally come to fruition. Or, I don't know, they give us a non-ugly version of Rappa or something. I really don't know. Break players of Fugue are just cheating. Look, man. Just pull for the right characters. I don't know what to tell you, bro. It's Honkai Power Creep Rail, right? Replace ARMS or HMC with Astrial. Yeah. So yeah, if nobody has any other like final comments, I guess we'll end the video here. I just think it's interesting to see that, hey, new in-game mode, potentially some FOMO items, so I can flex my prowess. I think that's pretty cool. My Abby and Malvika? Okay, whatever. Thank you for watching. I guess I'm alive now. I'm no longer dead. I'll see you guys in the next video, right? Peace.